arrival in fresh from Magic Square is Eniac number 4, MS-B66, also known as Scattershot. You got him in his jet mode there, soaring and scoring right above the highway there. His stats, for those that want to take a closer look, pause and scan there. And these are always so very nicely done, not a lot to it. Love Magic Square's offerings. This one just proves to be really, really awesome once you get them out of this box. This out of the box, you get his waist skirt, connects his legs to his torso there, a blaster, and he's packaged in robot mode. But as Galvatron asks, "Who are you?" I am Scattershot, as he transforms from jet mode to his Gerwalk cannon mode. And I've got to say, guys, this is at least my favorite of my modes, least favorite to transform into. It's not a lot of steps once you get into the jet mode. That whole deal of going from robot mode to jet mode was a magical experience, hence the name Magic Square. This Gerwalk mode really doesn't do anything for me. It's just in that one episode where Grimlock has a brain and gives birth to the Technobots. The happy accident that I have here is when I put the labels on, he's got insignias in both modes and on each side. So you get like, he's an Autobot from that angle, you get an Autobot from that angle. But my favorite of the 3 modes is the jet mode coming up next. And here is Scattershot in his jet mode, looking freaking Cybertronian awesome. It's got some Earth-based little, looks like he's got a satellite here in the front with this pew pew here, and you got the cockpit there. Autobot insignia on the side. This is his right part of his chest in robot mode. Really, really neat how this thing contorts, construes. Literally asymmetry in the fuselage to get into this freaking amazing thing. Now I had these wrong when I first transformed it, so the white bits need to be up, and it's like a couple of rotations there underneath. That's the trickiest bit of the transformation. Well, I don't know, this is pretty tricky up here, but it's neat how it all works itself out, locks into place, and the order of operations definitely matter here. You got some nice looking thrusters here on the back end and several bends in the wings, so like when you do go to manipulate and handle it, it may not stick, but it does do pretty good compared to some of the other offerings. You got 3 points of articulation there on the wings. The dorsal fins has that 1 point there, and it kind of looks like it's been on this side, but anyway. If you had blast effects, I imagine you could, throw those on there and give him some swooshing thrusting power. And I love his little pew-pews up there on the wings. And if you don't want the weapon stored up there on the top, simply remove it without undoing it. And that's how he cleans up right there. Looking really, really freaking cool and awesome. I dig this so very, very much. And there's other little play features I do with this guy right here. One of the simple ones is just extending this back out. Technically speaking, he's got some more firepower now, especially if I add that one back on the top. He has one flying heavy weapon. But then I also like to play in, like, if he was to launch from, say Earth or Cybertron, he can do like a launch kind of sequence. And it's extremely nerdy, but it reminds me of just a rocket ship getting ready to blast off and bust off for a little while. So he would go well with a Mega Supreme. I don't think Magic Square made it a Mega Supreme just yet, but New Age certainly did, and that thing is awesome. So then he can take off like this, and then he's got like, your deep space, configurations I like to do here by tucking in that nose cannon back into the fuselage there. Tucking the wingtips in where they're stacked on top of each other on the wings, mid-wing, and folding over the dorsal fins. This somehow, oddly enough, works for me too. I freaking love flying Transformer bots, and it doesn't look bad at all, any of the angles. I mean, it's something that you can do if you decide to do it. All that said and done, let's get him back over in his robot mode where he really and truly shines. And here is Scattershot looking freaking amazing in robot mode, guys. Magic Square has done it once again with their magic and how everything folds up and compresses, and the order of operations, the trench, it's all so very, very, very beautiful here. The only thing I don't like is those shoulders when it comes to articulation, and we'll get into it like right now. We're going to go from feet to head. So you get your standard, you know, full splits if you want to, with the ankle tiltage there. You get lots in the knee there, double hinge, and the way that I mean, it tries to fill the space to a degree. So, I mean, that's awesome that they did that like that. You got the magic square hips where you can kick up super high and far if you desire. You got those other flare out skirts for transformation and that kind of thing. Like always with the magic square, you don't get that much far back. But like he's got another weird joint here. I guess that's for whenever he goes into folding up into his chest piece and whatnot. We'll get to that when we get that stuff there. I want to flare these on out to the side again to show you that you can get, if that's straight, you can get the full van damage. You got weird shoulders, like they go up and knock himself in the head there. So you can't get quite the full Mr. T, but you do get, flare those back down, you get all the way around the waist. Some of that's due to the transformation. You get that nice ab crunch. You can actually take and make him look up, or as I say, always look eye, Danielson, always look eye. He can definitely do that. It's so freaking awesome that he can bow and do that. Then let's see, that annoyance there in the shoulder. You do get all the way around pretty easily. You got an upper bicep there. You get that much in the elbow. There's no double there due to the transformation and stuff that it has to do. The magic square hands is the typical, you know, ball and socket there. Really, really good there. And what am I forgetting? Oh, not only can you like bow, you can like flare it back and get some good flight poses, breaking it up. I mean, looks like he's got a jetpack anyway with that, you know, big pew in his back. And that head is freaking awesome all the way around. The smallness there, yuck. But then it does the whole looking up, way up thing, squirrel, and not really any attitude. I mean, you can wiggle it just a little bit, just to jiggle it a little bit, and you can look down that far. You can actually look down quite far. So I mean, you can get that. Sorry, you can get that down looking pose there. So anyway, that's about going to do the articulation. Scattershot into some final thoughts. This guy has some really crazy good engineering. It's again like in the chest and the legs, and that leg is a little bit tricky. It has a, thank goodness it's thicker than the Seekers with Magic Square apparatus. That it just kind of worries me because you have to do a funny shift unlock thing, and you got to use the dorsal fin out of the back of the leg to get it pop. I watched Optimus Legends to get the transformation down. Streak Shooter hasn't got it out there yet, and or he may just have gotten it put up as I was doing this review or whatnot. But God bless him and all these guys that just have the patience for it and what have you, and it just makes this more enjoyable in the end. These difficulty levels in Magic Square is not for everybody, but I sure do enjoy it to no end of the earth. I like this fabulous, tabulicious, shifty bits, the whole 9 yards. I love that about Magic Square. The paint work is excellent. The articulation is great, except for in those shoulders. And I love how this chest does to getting back over into his jet mode. I mean, it's just really, really cool. I like it when I use one set of Autobot symbols and then in the way it does. And the asymmetry in that transformation is top-notch engineering. I mean, it's just incredible, guys. And word of warning, when you do go to transform it back into robot mode, orientation matters, because I ended up having that hand over here on that side backwards and whatnot. So you just got to know where you're going with the shifty bits there. There's like a double twist there. So there's even a jump starter reference there. Thanks again for watching. Make sure to like, share, subscribe, all the stuff down below. Thanks again for watching. That's going to wrap up Scattershot Magic Square number 4. Number 5 is Afterburner, and I've gone way backwards while we're waiting on him to come in. Should be any day now. I get that email say, hey, go pay for it and get him across the pond. Magic Square does a top notch to get it across the pond, and thank you again for making these awesome combiners. One more to go to get Computron. Have a great week. Stay safe. Until all are one, guys.